Hello everyone. This video is obviously a strategy video for martyrs. Then I would like to call him the god of the weak school. So why do you say this? Let's take a look at how the designer gave this gun this quality. First, let's take a look at the weapon characteristics of this gun. 1. The 40% probability of triggering our quick shooter means that the key word of this gun is the quick shooter entry. 2. Each time the quick shooter matures to a multiple of 5, he will receive unlimited bullets for 0.5 seconds. 3. When continuously attacking the same target, the gun damage will be increased by 2 for each hit, up to a maximum of 40%. And will be reset when the target is switched. 4. When the remaining bullets exceed 50% of the magazine capacity, the attack power increases by 40%. In other words, the first 50 bullets of these 100 bullets are all from a gun that increases the attack power by 40%. First of all, we know that he is a quick shooter. So let's take a look at how the keywords of a quick shooter are written. During the duration, each layer of shooting speed increases by 1%, attack power increases by 1%, and can be stacked up to 5 layers for 2 seconds. Looking at it this way, these 5 levels are 51% speed and 5% attack power, right? Nothing good, but if paired with our key armor, the Oasis mask, the number of stacks of the quick gunner can be increased by 10, and each stack adds an additional 1 attack power. Then our mask module is fast and indestructible, and the quick gunner can be stacked with an additional 5 layers per layer. Adds 1 additional rate of fire. In this case, we are the 20th floor fast shooters. What in particular? 20th floor quick shooter. In this case we will its 20 layers of quick shooter, and each layer will superimpose 2% attack power and 2% fire rate. This is 40% attack power and 40% rate of fire. The sum of these attributes is the same as the percentage just now, right? This is where the value of the martyr lies. In addition, the first 50% of the magazine capacity also adds 40% of the attack power. Looking at it this way, wow, this is a machine gun, and it is a machine gun with more than 100 rounds of ammunition. The more you look at it, the more fun you get, right? So this martyr's weakness stream is the best. But if you have to go for the crit style, it's not impossible, but your damage, target damage, or hitting weak bosses is not a problem. There is no piece of armor like the Great White Shark and the corrosive ones, like the Shaman Top and the Gas Beanie that can increase your critical hit rate, no. Therefore, his critical hit rate is difficult to stack up. If you can't stack up your critical hit rate, it's useless no matter how high your critical hit damage is, right? Therefore, it is most stable for us to go for the weak point, because after we stack the weak point damage, as long as we hit the weak point, we can directly get the full weak point damage bonus, which is matched with the value given by the martyr. That's why I call him the king of weakness damage. Among other firearms, there are not many guns that can go through weak points. Martyrs Ian Xiangao, Lin Beili, right on target. These 4 guns are generally the guns of our weaker genre, and the most eye-catching one among them, I think, is the martyr. The weakness declared by Eun is revealed by that the critical hit rate is completely covered, because Ian declared that this critical hit stack is too easy. And the critical hit rate of the firearm is sufficient. The judgment of the projectile is still soaked separately to determine whether it is a critical hit. Therefore, Ian declares that crit flow is now the mainstream. Lin Beili's words and bullseye can't stack up to a gun with a critical hit rate, right? Then they can only go for the weak current. But if you want to talk about violence, can a pistol and a sniper rifle be as violent as a machine gun with 100 bullets? Among the current Polben boss, except for spiders and refrigerators, there are very few boss whose weak points cannot be hit. His machine gun is difficult to press and float, but it doesn't matter. Just put the machine gun into the monster's mouth and it's okay, right? The boss dropped by the group, but the ruler bar given by the source is better and more valuable. We usually go to the 2nd level box of the master source to open the weapon module, and the 3rd level box to open the mask module, and we will not fight any spiders. Let's first talk about a more refined drawing selection for a gun like this one. There are 2 main styles. One is the vertical shooting style, which means we add a rate of fire on the panel. The other one is stability. The stable style is to increase our stability, and the stable one only increases stability and will not give us any disputes. As for this, although it reduces our accuracy by 50%, it gives us a 20% rate of fire. This rate of fire combined is terrifying. As for where to find the accuracy we lost, I recommend everyone to go for accessories look inside, such as the grip here and the tactical props here. We don't need to select the stability anymore. Let's directly pick out the accuracy, such as the highest gravity grip or the 19 tactical laser pointer. No need improve the stability again. As for the front, there is still no choice between compact reflex sights. Just choose one with added stability. So for the gunhead, we still choose a drophead type compensator. So for the issue of stability, we can completely rely on our own control, that is, our mouse. So you can't make up for the accuracy thing. You can see that there will still be some damage. lose, especially when we have to target this person's head. If you feel that your pressure gun cannot hold it down and the bullets still flow too much, it is recommended that you choose a stable one, which is still needed. If you want to choose a rapid fire blueprint, it is recommended that you have a certain ability to press the gun. This is a must. Okay, now that we've talked about the drawings, we'll talk about the module that changes the flow of drawings later. First of all, for the weapon module, we chose to give numbers, and the most generous one, the multi-quick gun, can give us a superimposed 20% gun damage. For the armor module, we chose precision strike for the helmet. Although the misalignment of fire pursuit is also good in actual testing, our loss rate is actually very high. As for the damage caused by the magazine at the back, it is half covered, right? A semi-covered 30% gun mechanical damage is not necessarily worth our 36% hotspot damage, so it is recommended to choose a precision strike for the head. Then for the clothes, we chose a quick return. Among other types of guns, I don't tell you which module you want to specify, but when we play machine guns like Exploding and Underdog, my suggestion is to choose a quick return, because after using the healing needle it is really useful to directly refill our magazine. Including fast-paced battles like the Research Institute, where you can also clear the Research Institute alone, you rely heavily on using the healing needle to fill the magazine. For the module on the trousers, we must choose the ammunition black hole, which adds 5% to the gun damage, and another 4% for every 5 rounds scanned later, which is a 20. So a total of 25% firearm damage is added, which is a very scary thing. And our magazine has 100 rounds, and the next 80 rounds can get this 25%. As for the shoe module, we still recommend playing it safe, watching the fire and covering the defensive battle from the other side, and pick the one you like among these 3 guns. Playing slowly and steadily is the most stable, because it can eat up a 10% bonus 100% of the time. And as for the gloves, I have played these 2 modules many times, including gun strengthening and weakness strengthening, and I even broke one gun. I feel that the 2 modules are almost the same in actual testing. Then when the time comes to choose, you will choose whichever one tastes best. However, one thing is that I have strengthened the weaknesses to attack the weaknesses throughout the process, right? It's a tie with this gun enhancement, so I recommend this gun more to the gun enhancement. If you don't attack the weak points by then, the benefits will definitely be higher than this, right? We are dealing with gun damage throughout the entire process, so if you have good modules for both of them, I suggest you strengthen the firearms. If there are no good modules, which one is better for you to choose? Whichever one you use is okay. Facing this side, we follow the one mentioned above, only fast but not broken, because it is linked with our whole body equipment. Right? This must be chosen. In terms of equipment, we choose Pank Jacket, preferably 4 Pank and 1 Fortress. Needless to say, about the first Fortress, the 10% gun damage is the most powerful in a single piece, and then the 4 Pank. Although the 4th piece only gives us an ammunition bonus, you have to remember what our gun is. What about concepts? That is, 50% of the ammunition capacity will have an attack power of 40%, and then our ammunition black hole will also be there. The more bullets we have, the more damage bonus we will get for a machine gun. So speaking of this 4 Pank, if you want to pursue ultimate damage, this is the best one to use. As for the problem of slow reloading, we can solve it by acupuncture definitely, right? To be honest, everyone is not in short supply of this activator. When the time comes, we can use the needle to replace the bullet action. And it is not impossible to double the whole process. Luxurious players can play this way. As for the cradle, there is nothing to talk about here. You must bring the first automatic weapon enhancement, and then you must bring the 1 or 3 mastery, and also bring the quick assistance. As for the 2 dexterous warrior masters and machine runners, everyone can pick the one they like. Okay, tactical coordination is a must here, and then there is no need to say more about solid defense. As for this bounty hunter, I suggest that if you have a secondary weapon that is a marked weapon, you can give it a try. For example, in the case of this account owner, he paired a proliferated circus, then cut a gun and marked it, and then cut another one to perform a fierce output. As for whether this gun is worth redeeming, my advice is not worth it. That is to say, you don't need to spend 8,000 to exchange for the historian, and then spend 8,000 to exchange for an Oasis mask. It can only be said that you have drawn it. You have drawn this gun on the page, and you can go and play with it for him. If you have to exchange it, I don't recommend it. After all, with this gun, you have to specifically pick out the monster's weaknesses and hit them. There are so many guns, right? You can choose something more T0, such as the current T0 Malicious Declaration. This gun is better for standing still and attacking boss monsters with weak points. The above is the entire content of this video. Hopefully friends enjoy video, must subscribe my channel, like and comment, new update must watch.